When a woman has no one but God, the season of aloneness. There are moments in a woman's life when the walls seem to close in, when voices that once encouraged fall silent, and when people who once walked beside her quietly disappear. It is in these hollow, echoing moments that aloneness becomes a room she never meant to enter, but somehow finds herself standing in. For some women, this season comes after heartbreak, after betrayal, after the collapse of a marriage, after the passing of a loved one, or after the slow drifting away of people she trusted. For others, it comes without explanation, a gradual loneliness that settles over her like a quiet fog. But no matter how it begins, the season of aloneness feels like a wilderness of unanswered questions, a wilderness of prayers whispered through tears, a wilderness where she wonders if she is seen, heard, valued, understood, or remembered, a wilderness where the world feels loud, but her heart feels silent. There is a unique kind of pain a woman feels when she has to hold herself together because no one else is around to hold her. She wakes up and keeps moving because she has responsibilities, children to raise, work to do, bills to pay, a house to manage, a life to maintain. The world may not know it, but every morning she chooses courage simply by getting out of bed. Sometimes she cries quietly so no one notices. Sometimes she smiles because breaking down again feels exhausting. Sometimes she walks into a room and acts confident even when her heart feels like a fragile glass jar. Sometimes she whispers, "Lord, please strengthen me. I don't know if I can make it through this day." And yet, hidden within the loneliness is a mysterious invitation, an invitation into a deeper relationship with God than she ever imagined. Because when a woman has no one but God, she begins to discover who God is in a way she never knew before. He is not just her creator. He is not just her provider. He is not just her helper. He becomes her companion, her comforter, her listener, her father, her shelter, her counselor, and her strength. God steps into the silence. God steps into the loneliness. God steps into the emptiness. God steps into the places where human support once stood. And in that sacred emptiness, he begins building something new inside her. Because the truth is this: a woman who has nothing left but God will find that God is more than enough. The hidden strength God builds in a woman. When a woman walks through a season of loneliness, it may appear on the outside that she is breaking, but spiritually, something powerful is happening beneath the surface. God is building a strength inside her that cannot be shaken by circumstances, people, or losses. This strength is not loud or aggressive. It is not the kind that demands attention. It is quiet, steady, deep, and unshakable. It is the strength of a woman who has learned to survive storms because God stood beside her when no one else would. It is the strength of a woman who knows that her worth does not come from people, but from the one who created her. It is the strength of a woman whose confidence no longer depends on compliments, approval, or validation. God builds this strength in several ways. 1, he teaches her to stand alone without collapsing. There comes a point when she realizes she no longer fears being alone. Not because she doesn't value relationships, but because she has found security in God's presence. She understands that the absence of people is not the absence of support. She learns that she is never truly alone, not even for a second. 2, he teaches her resilience. She learns that she can recover from heartbreak, rebuild after loss, and start again when life falls apart. She becomes resilient not because she is naturally strong, but because God strengthens her in ways she cannot see. 3, he teaches her identity. In isolation, she stops hearing the voices that defined her, voices of criticism, judgment, or unrealistic expectations. Instead, she begins hearing God's voice telling her who she really is: loved, chosen, precious, forgiven, capable, worthy. 4, he teaches her discernment. In the quiet, she becomes more aware of who deserves access to her life. She begins recognizing unhealthy relationships, manipulative people, and draining friendships. She learns to protect her peace and maintain boundaries. 5, he teaches her inner peace. She discovers that peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of God in the midst of them. People may come and go, but God remains. Circumstances may change, but His love is constant. And as all of this unfolds, she realizes something life-changing. Her season of loneliness is not punishment, it is preparation. God is preparing her for a future relationship, a future calling, a future opportunity, or a future blessing. He is shaping her into a woman who cannot be easily destroyed because He Himself has become her foundation. The woman who once cried in the dark slowly becomes the woman who shines in the light. The woman who once felt forgotten becomes the woman God lifts up. The woman who once felt weak becomes the woman God uses to inspire others. When God becomes her protector, provider, and guide, there is a shift that happens in a woman's life when she stops depending on people for what only God can provide. Suddenly, she begins to notice how He shows up in ways she never expected. God becomes her protector. When she faces attacks, verbal, emotional, or spiritual, God shields her. When people try to break her spirit, God fights for her. When negativity tries to enter her heart, God guards her mind with His peace. Even in relationships where she was once mistreated, God intervenes, pulling her out of places that were slowly destroying her. A woman who has God as her protector walks with a sense of authority. She is not arrogant, but she is confident. She is not afraid because she knows who stands behind her. God becomes her provider. When finances pressure her, God opens doors she never knew existed. When she needs strength, He renews her energy. When she needs wisdom, He guides her thoughts. When she feels empty, He fills her soul. She begins to realize that every blessing in her life, big or small, is a reminder of His care. The unexpected opportunity, the job she prayed for, the bill that somehow got paid, the friend who called at the right moment, the peace she couldn't explain, the solution she didn't see coming. All of it is God. God becomes her guide. When she doesn't know what decision to make, He whispers clarity. When she is confused, He shows direction. When she is afraid of the future, He lights up one step at a time. She learns to listen for His voice, not always audibly, but through peace, through scripture, through signs, through discomfort, through opportunities, and through closed doors. God begins shaping her decisions, her relationships, her dreams, and her goals. And in time, she realizes that the safest place to be is not in a crowd, not in a relationship, not in comfort, but in the will of God. When a woman understands this, she stops begging people to stay. She stops fearing who leaves. She stops allowing others to define her value. She stops doubting her future because she knows who is leading her. A woman who has